In today's episode, we'll be telling you about the upcoming Christmas war. We'll also be revealing a new game mode and talking about the recent changes to Thunder. Hello tankers! As we told you some time ago, we've been thinking about making a special paint for those who managed to get 100,000 tank coins to drop from a coin box. Great news! We've made the paint, and we'll be giving it soon, but it will only be available for a limited time. So keep an eye out for those coin boxes if you want to have a shot at getting this unique paint. There are claims that playing video games improves vision and tracking ability. And our experiment seems to confirm this theory. In the last vlog, we hid a small Easter egg, and many of you spotted it.
Yes, we were really hinting about a new war, I mean a proper one. To participate, you just need to buy the distributor paint, which will randomly assign you to one of the 3 factions in the war. This time the theme is Stolen Christmas, and you will be joining Santa, the elves and the evil snowman to determine the fate of this festive season. The snowman is obsessed with ruining Christmas for all tankers. On the other hand, Santa wants to stop the snowman's evil plans, but the elves think Santa is too old to be defender of the festive season. So they have decided it's time for them to take over. The action will take place not only in tank battles, but also on a special map where you will need to make tactical decisions. For every matchmaking battle you finish, you will earn stars, which will help your faction to defend their territories and capture new ones. At the beginning of each turn, you will need to decide where to attack and where to defend. Factions must capture and hold as many regions as possible, which in turn will grant them points. The one with the most points at the end of the war wins.
For the members of the winning faction, there will be a prize giveaway with a Nokia smartphone, 5 XT containers, 5 Rail Prime skins, and 10 coins up for grabs. Players from the losing factions will also get a shot at winning one of the 2 Nokia smartphones, drawn especially for them. Additionally, during the war, all participants will receive containers. And if you have both, Premium and a Battle Pass, you will get 3 times as many containers. We've been talking about a new mode for a while now, and many of you are asking, where is the new mode? You promised! When will it be released? Okay, I come bearing news. The mode is actually still in development, but we've managed to get the green light to share some details. It'll be called Siege. Its mechanics will be similar to Control Point mode, but with one important difference. In Control Point mode, your score increases when you have more captured points than your opponent, so anyone will do. In Siege mode, you have to fight for one specific point. Once the game starts, a random control point is activated. From then on, it's a mosh pit. Once the point has been successfully captured by one of the teams, it is deactivated. And a few seconds later, another random point is activated. This mode involves more team collaboration and much larger skirmishes. No more sitting in the corner looking pretty. You gotta shed some skin, sweet cakes. The team with the most points at the end of the battle wins. We're expecting this new mode to hit the game before the end of this year. But you know, Murphy. The law. Murphy's Law. You do know about it, don't you? Do you ever feel watched? As if the bushes had eyes? Well, yeah, you've probably noticed by now that bushes in Tanki are flat, which makes it look as if they're always rotating to face you. Pretty creepy. So you're probably wondering, is it really so difficult to make 3D bushes or grass in the game? Difficult? Not really. But it's a headache, because vegetation tends to be a very resource-heavy asset in games. A 3D bush in Tanki can easily consume more resources on your PC than all the other objects on the map. However, we've been working a lot on optimization recently, and the issue is practically eliminated. So we've started working on updating the vegetation in the game. These are the first few samples, but they're a work in progress, and they will probably change. But we wanted to show them to you anyway, so that eventually you can see the difference between the prototypes and the final version. The cries have echoed far and wide over the past week. Bring back the old Thunder, they said. In case you missed the news, we're talking about the change in Thunder's firing mechanics. Thunder's shots are no longer an instant hit. Instead, the projectile will travel at a finite speed and will take time to hit the target. This raised an objection. Why do we need Thunder now if there's Gauss, he asked. But on the flip side, why do we need Thunder if we have Smokey? Think about it. The truth is that the situation isn't quite as simple as that. The mechanics of Gauss and Thunder are different. First of all, they have different effective ranges. Gauss is designed for long-range firing, while Thunder is better suited at medium range. True, Thunder's shell travels a long way, but unlike Gauss, it loses impact force over distance. Then again, Thunder's projectile flies much faster. Second, Gauss has an aiming mode. It's harder to use, but the damage multiplier makes it worth the effort. Additionally, the projectile connects with the target instantly, which makes Gauss a 2-in-1 turret. Third, Thunder's insta-hit mechanics made it a very simple gun. We've been aware of this for quite a while now. In fact, we've been planning this change since before we conceived Gauss. Such excessive simplicity negates the presence of other turrets in the game, and we are for balance, tactics, and diversity. And that's why Thunder received this change. Of course, we'll be monitoring its usage and possibly making changes to its parameters in order to balance out the increased difficulty. By the way, Smokey, which also has insta-hit mechanics, will also be undergoing some changes. But more about that in a future episode. YouTuber Digest. What's been cooking this week in the world of Tanki YouTube? Have a look. First, Mac tests our sense of observation with a little game of Spot the Difference with a Tanki theme. Next, watch iMoneymaker as he takes his M4 Gauss for a spin in matchmaking battles. eSports news. Clan Championship. 8 clans have qualified for the second group stage. They are Can't Stop, Cooldown, Eternity, GoPro, Just Passing, Knights, Penguins, and Terror Family. Only 4 of them will make it to the playoffs, and the competition is about to get much more heated. Who do you think these 4 clans will be? Write your guess in the comments under the vlog here on YouTube, and follow the live streams of the Clan Championship battles to see whether you guessed correctly. The first one to correctly guess the 4 finalists will receive a cool prize at the end of the stage. And that's it for today. You know what you need to do to make sure you don't miss the next issue. Like, subscribe, and ding that bell. See ya! In the last episode, you had to guess the drone. The correct answer is the booster drone. Here are our winners. And here's the new question.